Well, turning now to some rising tension in the White House, President Trump took to Twitter to blast Attorney General Jeff Sessions. The president slammed him on Twitter for not doing enough to investigate Hillary Clinton's alleged crimes and those who have leaked information to the media. This comes shortly after Trump expressed his frustrations with Sessions for recusing himself from the ongoing Russia probe. CBS News Justice reporter Paula Reed joins me now. Okay, Paula, some pretty harsh words for President Trump. What's the reaction been inside of the Justice Department?
Well, on Friday, the Attorney General said that he has no intention of stepping down and that he would continue to serve as he has. He said this job is an honor for him to serve in, and nothing he has done since that day has given us any indication that he's changed his mind. Today, he got here at 6 a.m., he ate his breakfast, he did his workout, and now it's business as usual here, Rena. There is no indication that he plans to step down.
Paula, have we heard from the White House on this yet?
We have. Kellyanne Conway said earlier today that the president is, of course, frustrated with the Russia investigation and feels, quote, victimized. Other White House staffers have said that, yes, obviously there is tension and it's being aired publicly, and ultimately it will have to be resolved.
So, Paul, what are the ultimate consequences if the president has lost complete faith in his attorney general? What does that mean?
Well, Rena, unless he fires him, there aren't a lot of consequences in terms of the day-to-day operations of the Justice Department. Jeff Sessions remains the nation's top law enforcement official, and as such, he can dictate policies for how the FBI, federal prosecutors, ATF, DEA, how all of them handle certain issues like immigration, drugs, and in general day-to-day bread and butter criminal matters. So unless the president fires him, his day-to-day job is the same as it was 2 weeks ago. And
is there a legal reason, Paula, as to why he hasn't fired him?
No, he absolutely has that authority, but Rena, it appears there are likely political reasons. Because if it's one thing Jeff Sessions is he is very consistent on immigration and has been throughout his career. And during the past 6 months as he's been Attorney General, he has been very dutiful in carrying out the president's priorities on immigration. Specifically, he has staffed up the immigration courts to allow more deportations. He has aggressively fought for the travel ban. He's also tried to punish sanctuary cities. And Rena, shortly before I came on here to CBSN, a very important article hit Breitbart. We know a lot of Trump supporters rely on the news that they share, and it was very pro-Sessions. It acknowledged that Sessions is one of the highlights, has many accomplishments, particularly as it comes to immigration under the Trump administration. And this particular quote is telling, Rena, and it may be why Sessions will not be fired. It says, quote, Sessions has fought in the trenches for a tough line on immigration for years, back when Trump was pouring money into the campaign coffers of Democrats who wanted to open America's borders. And Rena, I think that's going to be key here. I mean, Sessions has been dutiful. He's been consistent on immigration. That's what a lot of Trump supporters want, and that may save him from being fired.
And he's also been incredibly loyal to this president, one of the first people to come out and support him very early on. So if Trump were to fire Sessions, Paula, what are the replacement names that are being floated out there?
Rod Rosenstein, unless he too would be fired, he has also been criticized by the president, he would become the acting attorney general until a replacement is floated. Now, Rudy Giuliani, the former New York City mayor, his name has been floated, but Rena, his name has been floated around the halls of Main Justice here since the transition. I heard many people telling me that they thought he'd get rid of Comey and replace him with Giuliani, but even when they were bringing in dozens of people to interview for the FBI chief's job, Giuliani was never mentioned among them. The U.S. attorney from Utah, his name is also being floated. Ultimately, Rena, it seems that Sessions has the backing of the rank and file here at Main Justice. Even people who don't agree with his policies, they certainly support him in his decision not to resign and take the president's tweets as an attack on the Justice Department and the FBI's independence and integrity.
So what do you think the challenges would be, Paula, if the president were to appoint a new attorney general?
There would be a lot of challenges. It would be a very difficult confirmation hearing because you would have the issue of Russia. Now, it is likely that any new attorney general would also have to recuse themselves from that case, as it's currently in the hands of Bob Mueller, but they would face 100 hypotheticals about that. They would also have to face questions about the Clinton investigation. And there's also this issue of immigration, because Sessions has been so consistent in delivering on a lot of the promises the president made about that. Could he find someone else who would be as aggressive on immigration as Jeff Sessions and please all of the senators who would have to confirm him? It would be a very difficult confirmation fight.
All right, Paula Reed coming to us from a windy Justice Department. Thank you very much, Paula.